Stress corrosion cracking of steel wires and bolts in the tunnel caused the major breakdowns on the North-East line in January this year and March and August last year. Transport Minister Lui Tuck Yew shared this with the media on Friday after meeting with the team tasked to review the train disruptions.
The first incident in March was as a result of a leakage in the tunnel and the chlorine affecting the wires. So they have changed the wires, they have stepped up the checks. The other two incidents were as a result of chloramine affecting the U-bolts, also of stainless steel material. So in the meantime, while we have changed out the wires and the bolts, we are still using the same materials, and hence part of the job of the team is to look over the longer term, what should the material be that we will use when we next change the wires.
Mr. Lui said the joint team, made up of personnel from the Land Transport Authority and SBS Transit, is still determining the source of the corrosive agents, but there may be several factors contributing to the problems.
Batches of cables were actually not manufactured to the standards that were expected, and even in the laying of the cables there was potentially some damage to it as well. So these are all contributory factors.
To prevent similar incidents from happening, SBS Transit is replacing all 1,600 U-bolts along the problematic stretch between Outram and Harbourfront stations, half of which have been replaced and the remainder will be completed by mid-April this year. Longer-term preventive measures will also be rolled out. When asked about public transport fare adjustments, Mr. Lui said that the Fare Review Committee will release its report in May. Mr. Lui said that he will be looking into the affordability of public transport fares for the elderly and disabled. He said there would be further discussions on how much to charge commuters after the 13-member committee, chaired by Mr. Richard Magnus, shares its report. Commenting on Wednesday's fire at Newton MRT station, Mr. Lui said that it is important to determine what led to the incident.
We don't know why such a thing happened, why the insulation failed. Is it because of aging? Is it because it is time to be changed? These are all speculative at this point in time, but just as we did for the root cause of the NEL incidents, we need to get to the root cause of it, because any fire is potentially a very, very catastrophic one. Very, very potentially catastrophic. Okay, so we shouldn't just say that small fire, that's it, we put it out, some inconvenience to commuters, and then we move on. It cannot be that way. It cannot be.
Asked what grade he would give SMRT after its chief executive Desmond Quek rated the company B for reliability and availability, Mr. Lui had this to say.
I am not into giving alphabet grades. The only letter I'm interested in is the letter C for commuters. How we can improve service for commuters. That's all I'm interested in.